a video that you guys sent to me in the DMs called simply Simon the Digger versus Rayner Death Battle. Gurren Lagann versus the White Lantern. I don't know who either one of those people are. You know what I'm saying? But today, we're going to learn today. You know what I'm saying? Now I'm putting the links off up in this mug. You know what I'm saying? We getting them ready. Let's see. Okay, it's right here. You know what I'm saying? Also got some nukes videos for us to check out. You know what I'm saying? We gonna jump into some Fortnites a little bit later on. After that. Hey, what's up, Ghost 45? Spoiler alert, I know how it ends. Obviously. You know what I'm saying? No snitching. No snitching. You know what I'm saying? But you can tell me. I don't mind. How does it end? Who wins? I don't mind. What's up, Kill the Kill 360? You know what I'm saying? What's up? What it is, bruh? What's up? You know what I'm saying? How you guys doing today? Hope you guys are having a great June and or May or April. You know what I'm saying? It's definitely one of the months. You know, tomorrow I should be at DreamCon. You know, what's up, Jonathan the Gamer? Hey, what's up, my guy? Bro, it's good to see you, Brody. Yo, glad to see you, my guy. Can't wait to play Fort. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? We gonna get some Fortnite in, bros. You know what I mean? All right, y'all. You know what I'm saying? We just now getting the first links up. Almost done with the second links. To which case we will be starting our something. Definitely words. You know what I'm saying? Definitely about to get it popping. What it is, Brandon Taylor? You know what I'm saying? What's up, Centura? You know what I mean? Simon wins. Usually, you know, Simon does say. Hey, what's up, Vine Simon? You know what I'm saying? What's up? Yeah. Hey, what's up, Chili Cinderace? You know what I'm saying? Have you seen Springtrap in Daylight? You got to go to my other channel, Centura. Yeah, I'm saying I think you is on the reaction and ain't on the gaming. In order to be a mod on the gaming channel, you got to be in 30 consistent streams. You know what I'm saying? And or be one of my highest donors. Someone that super chats over 500, they immediately get the mod squad pass. You know what I'm saying? All right, y'all, let's do this. You know what I'm saying? All righty then. Type of 1 in the chat if the audio is good. Type of 2 in the chat if the audio is bad. There it is. Yeah, get the whole thing in there.
Simon the Digger. Kyle Rayner, the White Lantern.
I thought he was
Two
green.
men born of Earth with the willpower to pierce the heavens and conquer infinity.
Word.
He's Wiz and I'm Boomstick. And it's our job to analyze their weapons, armor, and skills to find out who would win a death battle.
Oh, I bet. Death battle!
Deep underground, Jiha Village lived in dreary isolation,
yeah,
oblivious to the wider world
Yeah.
above their squalid cave. That's where the hero of our story comes in. The young man who would lead his comrades into the sunlight at last. Kamina, the great and mighty. Oh, and his little
He's
brother
got a
from
sword
another mother,
again.
Simon. He was there too, I guess. Simon was a digger, content to drill endlessly through the dirt, until the day he found the core drill. A key that activated the mysterious buried mech that Kamina named Lagann. Under his magnificently masculine leadership, Kamina finally drilled their way to freedom, seeing the sun after a life in the dark. But the sky was by no means the limit. The surface was ruled by the cruel chimeric beastmen, and Kamina would lead his compatriots
What's up, Jack
against them
Avery? What
to
it is, my
reclaim
homie?
the Earth for humanity, scoring a second mech in the process,
What it
aptly
is, say
named
no
Gurren.
artiste.
And as befits Kamina and Simon's unbreakable brotherly bond, Gurren and Lagann merged, creating Gurren Lagann. With Kamina piloting
This anime looks good. I might have to give it a thorough oncing over.
the body and Simon the head, these two were unstoppable.
Hey, what's up, Kill the
Of
Kill?
all the giant fighting robots in all the animes across history, Gurren Lagann might just be the absolute coolest, fueled by its pilot's willpower and capable of making any weapon they can imagine, including
Word?
missiles, a jetpack, a sunglasses boomerang, and of course, drills! Wrist-mounted drills, kunai drills, shield
Hey.
drills, kamehameha drills, and everyone's favorite, the Giga Drill Bureku! Side note, it
Thug
is so
life.
funny that the only thing they could think of was drills.
That's like if I made booze or something my whole personality. What up?
With Gurren Lagann's awesome
Isn't
power,
it?
Kamina laid waste to enemy forces,
Damn.
liberated human villages, and
That
fomented a
anime looked
rebellion
good as
against
shit.
the Beastmen King, Lord Genome.
Until Kamina died. Oh, wait, shit, was that supposed to happen?
And y'all all know that I am a huge connoisseur of anime, bro. I love anime, yo. You know what I mean? And I'm always down to find new animes to binge watch. You know what I mean? Now, with that being said, you know what I'm saying, type in your favorite anime. You know what I'm saying? So that I know what that is, because I love the anime. And
Nope, and it was all Simon's fault.
Aw.
He let his willpower waver, and his soul brother paid the price. After all, he was just a humble digger, at home in the darkness, guided solely by the light of Kamina's spirit.
So his big bro left him with these final words. Have faith in the Simon who believes in you. Damn.
Kamina was the one
That's
looking up
pretty.
to him the whole time. It was Simon who found Lagann.
That's what's
Simon
up,
who
Ghost
pierced the
45.
surface, and Simon
Death
who
Note
would now lead
is
humanity
goated.
to victory.
Especially with his gal pal
Nipple
Nia at
loving
his side,
Victor.
who helped pull him out of his rut and kick Lord Genome's ass.
Damn.
But victory only lasted 7 years before the anti-spiral attacked.
7 years is a pretty long time for victory. Congratulations to them.
Unimaginably powerful godlike aliens, the anti-spiral feared humanity's potential, what they dubbed the spiral nemesis.
Word?
Remember how Gurren Lagann runs on fighting spirit? Turns out that's just a manifestation of spiral power, an energy that all spiral beings, like humans, have. That's right, the laws of physics run on chutzpah.
Just as the spiral turned inward represents endless obsession and madness, the spiral turned outward spins forever into infinity, the perfect representation of humanity's evolutionary potential.
Potential Simon would use as he led Team Dai Gurren across the multiverse to take the fight to the anti-spiral. And this is when Gurren Lagann gets crazy.
Bruh. Yeah. All right, guys, I just realized I've made a grave and horrible, terrible mistake. Something easily rectified with 7 seconds of, doing this over here. What? Impossible, man. Oh, that makes sense. Oh. Yo, type of one in the chat if you've ever had that moment where you were doing something, trying to figure something out. You're like, how the hell do I fit? And then you figure it out. You're like, oh. You know what I'm saying? Yep. Happens to be. Type of two in the chat if you've never had one of those type of realizations. You know what I'm saying? Like, like when you realize that the door on the bus only closes from the inside. It's like, how does the bus driver get off? Oh, we're going to edit that out. All right, you guys. So the first super chat milestone is 10 super chats. You know what I'm saying? Any amount. You know what I'm saying? It all goes towards the production of our next BHD story time. You know what I'm saying? Yes, I am taking votes for what background gameplay you guys would like in the story time. Person who super chats the most towards getting that mug edited, because it's going to be at least probably about an 18-hour edit for my editor. You know what I'm saying? They get to choose the background gaming play for the game channel. You know what I'm saying? I'm still choosing for the main.
Channeling spiral power lets you constantly adapt to threats, no matter how overwhelming. Simon can create portals to different realities and higher dimensions. He can generate force fields, absorb energy attacks, and even merge Gurren Lagann with bigger and stronger machines.
That's what's up, Brandon
Creating
Taylor.
the
That's what's up,
Arc
Ghost.
Gurren Lagann,
Blaze.
which is strong
That's what's
enough
up, Kill
to
the Kill.
shatter space and time with a punch.
Or the Super Galaxy Gurren Lagann, which can fire lasers that are fast enough to hit.
That's what's up,
and
Ghost
I quote,
45.
all time, space, and dimensions.
Hey, what's up,
all
Brazilian
within
boy gamer?
a Planck instant.
That's
Game Boy
the
Gaming.
smallest unit of time physically possible.
Hey.
Meaning each laser would have to be moving
Kodaz the Hedgehog.
4.6 times 10 to the 117th power times faster than light.
Word?
Oh, Well, looks like this wins the award for fastest calculated speed feat in our show's history. Congratulations, Gurren Lagann.
Move over,
Hey, what's up, Joel
SpongeBob.
Young?
You've been
Everything is
dethroned.
good, man. It's good to
Oh,
see you,
and
bros.
the guidebook says they hit an innumerable number of enemies across infinite universes. You literally cannot calculate how fast that is.
But it wasn't enough to escape the anti-spiral's greatest trap, the multiverse labyrinth.
What's
an
that?
attack that imprisons Simon in his own unique multiverse,
Word?
forced to experience an infinite number of alternate realities that controlled his mind, permanently
That's what's up,
arresting
Kill la
him
Kill.
in a dream world.
Except Simon and his spiral power are just built different. And after being inspired by his bro, Simon absorbed that whole multiverse to escape.
What makes this even more
Dang.
impressive is that this labyrinth was 11-dimensional, meaning Simon absorbed a higher dimensional structure several orders of infinity greater than himself. The jump between dimensions is basically infinite. Each new dimension adds a new direction of space that extends infinitely, thus an infinite gap in size and scope.
Damn.
Oh, we're just getting started. Imagine a two-dimensional drawing interacting with a three-dimensional person.
Okay, that's not too far off from what actually happened.
Because when Simon absorbed the multiverse labyrinth, he merged with every alternate universe version of himself.
I didn't know there was a
including
Death Note
alternate
video
universe
game.
Simon, who is writing his own alternate universe version of Gurren Lagann. And that author's spiral power made his fictional Simon real, adding another to the mix.
Wait, if every human being has spiral power, you're telling me we can all do this shit?
This all gave our Simone enough spiral power to form the next step in mecha evolution, Tengen Toppa Gurren Lagann.
This is when Gurren Lagann gets actually fucking crazy.
Damn.
Like shooting missiles that alter probability so they have a 100% chance of hitting you.
Damn.
Or tossing galaxies around like frisbees. Sorry, did I say galaxies? I meant universes.
No, damn that. He meant the Rasengan Shuriken that Naruto throws in the Naruto series. Bro, because that's what that looks like. Is it not?
Missiles that alter probability so they have a 100% chance of hitting you. Or tossing galaxies around like frisbees. Sorry, did I say galaxies? I meant universes.
Simon's
Shurikens.
power was so immense that he started generating super spiral space, a higher dimension encompassing our own universe.
Those hella look
With
like
it,
Rasen
Simon
Shurikens.
turns his thoughts into reality, letting him create his mech and all of its weapons in the first place.
Not only does it
Type of 1 in the chat if this anime looks fire. Type of 2 in the chat if this anime doesn't look good enough to watch. Bruh, to me, this anime looks fire. I'm gonna watch this.
mean he no longer needs co-pilots, he can also regenerate any damage done to him or his mech just by willing it back into existence.
Like when Lord Genome used spiral power to survive quantum breakdown. Or the time Nia, now the best wife in the universe, used spiral power to constantly regenerate her body from being erased at the informational level for 7 days straight.
Information in physics
looks
is
good.
essentially the ones
See,
and
Kill la
zeros
Kill
that make
knows.
up every possible
Gravedigger
outcome in
knows.
reality. Nia
Jonathan the
literally
Gamer knows.
regenerated
Kodad-
from the statistical
Kodad's his
certainty
knows.
of her own destruction.
Rose
If I
45.
have spiral power, Wiz,
You know.
when the fuck is my leg growing back?
When even
Oh.
this was not enough for the anti-spiral, Simon evolved one more time.
Into Super Tengen Toppa Gurren Lagann!
Damn.
This mech is so big, its size is literally incalculable. And with a drill somehow even larger than that, Simon and his friends shattered the anti-spiral once
Drill
and
time.
for all.
Hey, cruel indifference of the universe! Meet the indomitable human spirit!
Proving Kamina's words prophetic, that Simon's drill is the drill that would pierce the heavens.
With no more worlds left to conquer, Simon chose to wander the earth for the rest of his days, in service to others.
Always looking up. For all the lights in the sky are stars, and every star another world of spiral cousins that can live free.
All
That's
thanks to a humble digger.
That's pretty. I like that.
The universe is a dangerous place. Should you find yourself face to face with an interdimensional vampire, alien dictators, or this one really pissed off cat, you
Have
know who to
sex with
call.
it.
The Green Lantern Corps. They're the Space Fuzz, an intergalactic police force founded billions of years ago
We
by
gonna edit
blue
out what I said.
leprechaun gods.
And the greatest Green Lantern among them was
I don't
everyone's
think
favorite,
White Lantern is gonna win this.
Hal Jordan.
Understandable.
You know him. You love him. You
Do I know
might
how much
hate him,
Star
but you
Wars
gotta
Battlefront
respect
2
the
is on
man
Steam?
with a will as
I
unbreakable
do
as
not.
Hal's.
Until
But I can check. Alrighty then. Let us go on over to the handy dandy Steam. Man. I actually watched a couple episodes of Blue's Clues when I was a children. Yeah, I'm saying. Yep. You know, the thing that, I used to watch it. It was cool. Let's see. Star Wars Battlefront 2 is $40. How big of an install is it? Yes. Nah. It play. Meh. It's not too bad. $40 ain't terrible. Yeah. Dang it.
Till the day his will broke.
I don't think I've
After
ever
his
played
hometown
Battlefield.
got completely obliterated,
Starfront 2.
Kyle lost his mind. He rampaged through the core, killing everyone in his path, and absorbed the central power battery, the literal Green Lantern.
Becoming the Emerald Tyrant.
Bruh, that would be one heck of a
There
super
was
chat
only
request, bro.
one survivor of Parallax's killing spree. Ganthet.
My first time
and with
playing
what remained
Battlefront.
of his strength, he
Star
gave
Wars
the
Battlefront.
last Green Lantern ring in the universe to a human, Kyle Rayner.
So, was Kyle picked for his indomitable willpower like Hal was?
He was just
Maybe.
there. He had no idea what was going on. Must feel good being given the most dangerous magical weapon in existence to figure out on your own. Hey, if Colonel Sanders, Daffy Duck, Space Wheat, and a sentient box can master it, what's your excuse, Kyle?
The Green Lantern ring can do anything, fulfilling any wish its user desires as though it were a genie from a lamp.
It lets you fire energy blasts, create force fields, affect gravity, turn invisible and intangible, manipulate matter, time travel, warp reality, and
Damn.
erase things from existence.
Think we're exaggerating? Well, consider the time Kyle stretched the very fabric of space to increase the Planck length a billion times over. That's like stretching an inch into a light year.
Lanterns control time and space, letting them
Damn.
fly so fast they can create a speed force singularity.
Tapping into the Speed Force requires entering a higher dimension of space, requiring
Damn.
speeds that are not only faster than light, but totally immeasurable. And the rings have an artificial intelligence that operates just as fast, automatically protecting its user from danger.
Like the time that Poozer Kilowog survived being erased from existence by the crisis on Infinite Earth.
The ring is fueled by its user's willpower and limited only by their imagination.
While Hal may have had the greatest willpower in the Corps, Kyle's imagination is unmatched, probably because he's a comic book artist. And we know from this show, they think of some wild shit.
But the Green Lantern's most recognizable ability is their constructs, Kyle's speciality.
Samurai armor, pirate ships, giant dragons, actual working home computers, and his favorite, super fighting robots. Hey, that one looks familiar.
Kyle can make them strong enough to lift the Spectre, who weighs as much as eternity.
Or hold back a 12.3 dimensional Big Bang. Wait, 0.3? DC's multiverse has 12.3 dimensions? That is the stupidest thing I've ever heard.
The ring's
This is
only
super
downside
interesting
is that
to
it's
me.
limited to 24 hours before needing a recharge.
So it can blow up universes, but it has the battery of an iPhone. Never mind, that's the stupidest thing I've ever heard. Although I'd say Kyle's biggest weakness was Kyle. With great power came no responsibility.
Perhaps a manifestation of Kyle's self-doubt. Any reflection came too late, though, when one of Kyle's villains brutally murdered his girlfriend, Alex, and put her body in a fridge.
Kyle wasn't the only one traumatized. This moment was so infamous, it started the trope called fridging.
For how female characters are often sacrificed as mere plot devices to further a male character's development.
So it might surprise you that it happened to Kyle again.
Kyle finally got serious. He became a prominent member of the Justice League, faced off against Hal, and even rebuilt the Green Lantern Corps better than ever.
But little did he know, this torchbearer's greatest journey had only just begun.
In order to save Ganthet from an emotional lobotomy, it's a long story, he had to master all the colors of the emotional electromagnetic spectrum.
There are 7 colors, each representing a different emotion. The yellow light of fear lets Kyle manipulate the worst horrors in your mind. The more scared you are of him, the stronger he becomes.
Orange light is fueled by bottomless avarice, possessing Kyle to absorb not merely his enemies' attacks, but also their souls.
Red is rage, ripping out Kyle's heart and replacing his blood with napalm. which
Damn.
sounds like it sucks, but it's metal as hell.
Blue light is powered by hope and allows Kyle to heal wounds, resist mental domination, and supercharge his ring.
Indigo is compassion, reducing his opponent's will to fight and letting him open portals across space, connecting him to others.
The final one was the sapphire light of love. With it, he can trap enemies within crystal matrices and control their minds.
That is hilarious.
But Kyle only mastered it by forgiving himself for Alex's tragic death.
Oh, self-love. I get it. Must be nice. And with their powers combined, he doesn't just make it.
They are Captain Planet or extremely hungry. I just ate, so I am not. Ooh, candy. Don't judge me. Got these at the movie theater when I saw the latest Final Destination. That movie is tizite. Go see it if you haven't. Better not bring your kids because the deaths are gruesome.
His enemies taste the rainbow.
The light of the spectrum.
Did they use my line? Making his enemies taste the rainbow.
Self-love. I get it. Must be nice. And with their powers combined, he doesn't just make his enemies taste the rainbow.
The lights of the spectrum merged and Kyle became a White Lantern with total control over the power of life.
Wiz, I cannot think of an attack more useless in a death battle than something that makes you live.
Empowered by the physical embodiment of all life in the DC multiverse,
Oh, I like
Kyle
that.
is vastly more powerful than any other lantern in existence.
Far stronger than Hal, who could harness the energy of every power battery across the multiverse.
Not only can Kyle instantly heal all wounds, purify corruption, and resurrect the dead, the white light of life is strong enough to go up against threats to all of creation, like the
this?
Anti-Monitor.
Okay, so it's not totally useless.
Especially after Kyle visited the Source and acquired the life equation. Essentially the source code to reality, the life equation is mathematical proof that life is worth living.
With it, Kyle can alter all of reality at a whim, even threatening the new gods like Darkseid.
The life equation, like its counterpart, the anti-life equation, is a conceptual artifact from a higher reality, originating in a platonic realm that is, in a sense, more real than we are.
So it's not a shock that the equation made Kyle too powerful.
He struggled to control it, and it subconsciously manifested a being composed of his fears and anxieties. Oblivion. Kyle's greatest
Damn.
weakness was still himself.
Kyle spent his whole life struggling with the power that the gods granted him, and throughout it all, he always rose to the occasion, carrying the universe on his back.
But ultimately, the only way to
Which one, Cody says, which color would I pick? What color lantern would I pick? Which one is the one that heals stuff? You know what I mean? That's the one I would probably be. Most definitely. You know what I mean? Yep.
stop power from corrupting is to spread it. So Kyle
They did not just say that. The only way to keep life is to spread it.
Throughout it all, he always rose to the occasion, carrying the universe on his back.
But ultimately, the only way to stop power from corrupting is to spread it. So Kyle split the life equation into pieces to found his second core, the White Lanterns. And together, they shattered Oblivion, destroying the self-doubt that plagued Kyle once and for all.
Not bad for a comic book geek from LA.
And now
Yeah, I'll be a White Lantern. I'll be a White Lantern. If that's the one that heals, that's what I'd be. You know what I'm saying? Bruh, man, that reminds me all the times in the hood when I used to live back in the hood in the slums back when I was younger and super poor and destitute and all that. I would always crack jokes because it would make all the people around me that, you know, was always going through stuff, it'd make them laugh, which would make them feel better. So, White Lantern probably.
Now he was the one giving out rings of unlimited power to people who weren't sure if they could command it.
So he told them the truth. You can't teach someone how to use such power. You have to learn yourself, making mistakes along the way.
But with the power of life at their command, there's no end to their journey, only endless beginnings.
Do not know who's going to win this one. I said the White Lantern is going to win this one. That's my own personal opinion. Who do you think is going to win? I don't know, man. The blue, you know what I'm saying? The Blue Lantern seems way too, like, I mean, a little bit too biblical. You know what I mean? For real, for real.
Hey, remember Beerus vs. Sailor Galaxia? No? Well, that's because it was taken off YouTube for being too anime. But we've got a solution. It's our own website. That's www.deathbattle.gg. It's like our own private Patreon, with a store for Death Battle merch and a complete Death Battle video archive. It's got episodes that YouTube has banned, blocked, and censored, and there's even more goodies on the way. So check out deathbattle.gg live right now.
That's what's up. I'm gonna check that out at some point.
All right, the combatants are set, and we've run the data through all possibilities.
It's time for a death battle!
Hey, what's up, Killer? What's up, Kodak? What's up, Brandon? What's up, freaking Aztec? Oh, there we go.
Alright, I'm not rusty at all.
Hey, dude.
White
Green
Lantern's gonna
Lantern
win this
Officer
one.
Kyle Rayner here. Ring says you've got a Class A galactic super weapon, whatever that is. I'm thinking it's the giant mech. Why don't you hand it over?
Gurren Lagann's mine, officer. Just who the hell do you think you are?
Damn. Damn. Oh, they made this fight good. Yeah, Kodak. Here we go.
I'm told I'm bad with authority.
Yeah, man.
Tell me about it.
Bat wings on him.
4?
Oh. No, 5, nigga. Oh.
That's nothing! My drill will pierce the heavens!
Damn.
Turn your toe for Gurren Lagann!
Oh, shit. Is it me or has he put on Sailor Moon glasses? Superman?
That's really cool.
With Wonder Woman weapons?
I'm a lantern.
We do the impossible.
I ain't mad at
See
it.
the invisible.
Touch the untouchable.
Break the unbreakable.
If you ain't know,
Now you know.
Damn. And White Lantern, you getting your ass whooped. White Lantern getting fucked up.
I'm Simon
Yeah,
the Digger.
man.
If there's a wall in my way,
Oh, shit.
I'll smash it down!
Yep, get the whole thing in there. Not gonna finish that joke. Yep. There you go.
Stop fighting.
Yep.
Think about your fear of death, your love of your friends, your compassion for me, your hope for the future. Choose life.
Yeah, always.
have faith in the Simon that believes in you.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Okay.
Gurren Lagann!
Damn.
My drill is the drill that will transcend the heavens!
Huh?
You're gonna drill!
That's what he said. Oh, shit. We need a lot of Diddy oil for that one. We gonna edit that out. Word? Damn. So a duel of drills. Never drill
The
duel,
super
man.
weapon wasn't your mech. It was me.
Then, Simone, I'm taking you in brightest day, in blackest night.
Damn.
No evil shall escape my sight.
I'm thinking the White Lantern gonna win because I feel like it should be impossible to kill a Lantern whose power is life. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Let those who worship evil's might beware my power. Green Lantern fly!
he ain't even evil though.
Let's see you grit those teeth!
Damn. Nigga, what?
You'd make a good lantern.
Simon of Earth, you have been chosen.
Ain't that a
Just
bitch?
who the hell do you think I am?
KO! For the guy with the snazzy sunglasses!
How the shit? Bruh, that was an upset. I didn't see that coming.
When both combatants possess unlimited power, it's hard to judge them by our normal standards. Take speed. Simone can hit an infinite number of targets all at once, and Kyle can fly fast enough to surpass the normal concept of speed itself.
When you control space and time, things like strength and speed kind of become irrelevant.
Instead, let's analyze them through a lens more applicable to beings as absurd as Simone and Kyle. Their imagination, their willpower, and their ultimate potential.
First up, imagination. The boundless things they could conjure to use against the other. Both could think up just about anything the other could, like absorbing each other's attacks, fighting across time, anything.
Simone did have a few attacks that Kyle hasn't encountered, like the probability-altering missiles, but it's likely Kyle could adapt considering his ring could protect against existence being erased across the multiverse.
And in general, Kyle's constructs were a lot more creative than Simone's arsenal, which was mostly drills. Though again, nothing Simone couldn't adapt to with, say, his energy absorption. Imagination is a draw.
That leaves the other main factor for both characters, the origin of their unbelievable might, their willpower.
And that's really gonna be the winning factor here, since it's the source of everything for both of them. Whoever's got the stronger willpower wins.
Both can manipulate reality on a multiversal scale with their willpower, but we can use dimensions to roughly calculate a difference. This might sound absurd for most characters, but it's necessary for beings as beyond the pale as Simone and Kyle.
The multiverse labyrinth that Simone absorbed contained 11 spatial dimensions. That's 1.3 dimensions less than the multiverse Kyle's power can threaten.
And remember, each numbered dimension infinitely surpasses the one below it.
Which meant Kyle's willpower was stronger at a base level. However, that doesn't necessarily mean Kyle gets the edge, because if there's one thing both of these guys are known for, it's that they can always get stronger.
So to determine the limits of their willpower, we first need to understand their full potential.
Simone's whole deal with spiral power is how he can constantly evolve to get stronger. So just because Simone starts off weaker doesn't mean he'll stay that way.
Absorbing the multiverse labyrinth required Simone to leapfrog several orders of infinity in an instant. Simone made himself that much stronger through sheer force of will.
More than enough to close the gap with Kyle, especially since spiral power also lets him regenerate his body down to an informational level. Kyle's never destroyed something that thoroughly before.
Without the ability to easily kill Simone, it was only a matter of time before Kyle's ring ran low on charge, especially since Simone could likely regenerate for at least a week straight, like Nia did. While Blue Lantern Light could boost Kyle's power, he's never jumped several orders of infinity in strength like Simone has.
And while Kyle could manipulate emotions to reduce Simone's willpower, Simone resisting the labyrinth's mental manipulation meant he could power through anything Kyle threw at him.
Everything, that is, except for the life equation. It originated from a higher level of reality and would have more than even the odds.
Too bad Kyle couldn't control it. It was just as much a detriment to him as an asset, forcing him to relinquish it to keep from destroying reality and himself.
Compare that to Simone, who merged with a version of himself writing a version of Gurren Lagann, and using spiral power to make that fiction into reality.
A pretty similar level of reality to the life equation, and a level of power Simone had no trouble embracing and mastering by the end of his story. No matter how you look at it, Simone might start weaker, but his peak will always transcend Kyle's. Isn't that how all of Simone's battles usually go anyway? That's Gurren Lagann in a nutshell.
So Simone's incredible potential eclipsed Kyle, which means his willpower was ultimately greater. Kyle may have embodied life itself, but Simone's unstoppable evolutionary potential would shatter even this lantern's light.
I hope Kyle at least dug the fight, because when it comes to death battle losers, he was a dead ringer.
The winner is Simone the Digger.
Next time on Death.
Damn. That's wild. I did not see him winning that one somehow. Dang. Yo. That's what's up, though. You know what I'm saying? Bruh, I did not. I might have to go watch that anime. You know what I mean? That anime looks really good. I really thought the other dude was going to win. For real. All right, so I got another death battle that I wanted to watch. Bruh. Dragon. What death battle do you guys want me to see? What death battle do you guys want to see me see? Yeah.
This episode is sponsored by BetterHelp.
This is Gogeta versus Vegito. Never saw it. Today we're here to see it.
Last one! Man, these things are so easy to find nowadays.
Yes! Now, with this ultimate power, I can finally conquer
Have
the
Gogeta
world!
fight Vegito!
What?
Oh, come on! It's the ultimate Dragon Ball question! Which fusion of Goku and Vegeta is stronger? Gogeta, the combo
versus
greater than
Coyote.
legends, or Vegito, the mix who surpassed gods?
Intriguing.
I still love
they
Green
are
Lantern,
in
yeah.
many ways identical, yet still quite different. Though
the
in
homie-
canon, they
Yeah,
only
that's
have
for
a
real,
collective
Rick
total of
Flash.
3 brief appearances.
Yeah, I
to
mean-
truly determine who would win, let's
homie
examine
Science
all
stay
of their
evolving.
material.
So that's Z, GT, Super, movies, games, guidebooks, Toei's Twitter, even all the crazy Xenoverse and hero stuff.
Hold on to your Dragon Balls.
He's Wiz and I'm Boomstick.
And it's our job to analyze their weapons, armor, and skills to find out who would win a death battle.
Imagine it's 1995 and you're at a movie theater in Japan. You're there to watch Dragon Ball Z Fusion Reborn, and it's gonna be the most radical movie ever, dude. I mean, yeah, it was a little weird when Adolf showed up, but then it happened. Goku and Vegeta were pushed to the brink with only one option left. They merged into a single being of amazing power, Gogeta!
Hey, what's up, guys?
And
Gang?
that would be the greatest thing 8-year-old you ever saw. Yep, you peaked at 8.
Fun fact, while Vegito had already debuted in the manga
That's
2
what's up,
months
Kodak.
earlier, Gogeta was created first. After all, the movie had been in production throughout the previous year.
Two Saiyans, the proud son of royalty and the lower class champion becoming one epic powerhouse? This is the true potential of Goku and Vegeta. Easily a top 5 Dragon Ball moment. Hey, nothing beats the first time we saw Super Saiyan, but I think this comes close.
This
Real
method
talk.
of fusion was taught to Goku by the Metamorans, a mysterious alien people who we never actually see.
But I'd guess they like wearing crop tops with inflatable shoulder pads. Anyway, when Goku taught this fabled technique to Goten and Trunks, it was the most beautiful thing I'd ever seen.
This is the fusion dance. On top of an incredibly precise movement routine, this technique requires both parties to match power levels in order to fuse successfully. A literal personification of the phrase, only as strong as the weakest link.
It's
I
pretty
can see
easy to
that.
screw up, trust me. But if you nail it, you're the baddest mother effer on the planet.
Though not part of mainline canon, Goku and Vegeta first used this to battle Janemba, a demon basically composed of essence of evil. Probably smells like cats. Gogeta
Meh.
defeated him in less than 2 minutes. 20 years
Definitely
later,
looks like
Gogeta would
cats.
become canon to conquer one of the most dangerous entities in the multiverse, Broly.
Obviously, Gogeta's super powerful, but I think his most underappreciated skill is how he comes up with awesome attack names. Like the Big Bang Kamehameha, Stardust Fall, Meteor Explosion, and the ultimate villain killer, Stardust Breaker!
A fancy-looking attack that completely obliterates all traces of evil within a target.
That's how it took out Janemba in one shot. The guy was literally made of evil. Or cats.
Weirdly enough, this is similar to Devilman's Devilmite Beam, which causes the evil within a person to explode and...
Oh, you mean Spike? That guy's hilarious. Which obscure character are you gonna reference next? Icarus? Sour Man? General Rildo? Oh man, that guy's just one letter up from General Dill.
Over the years,
Oh, boy.
Gogeta has achieved the empowered forms of Super Saiyan, Super Saiyan Blue, and even Super Saiyan 4 in his battle against Omega Shenron.
Super Saiyan 4 is a totally unique branch of transformation. Instead of using Divine Ki like Super Saiyan God, it taps further into Goku and Vegeta's Saiyan bloodline, giving them fuzzy red fur and teen goth eyeshadow.
Goku has also claimed this form increases a Saiyan's inherent aggression, though you
I can only imagine. All right, you guys, once we reach the super chat milestone, which is 10 super chats of any amount, I'm saying, type a 1 in the chat if you guys want me to play a scary game. Type a 2 in the chat if you guys want me to play an action game, something like Batman Arkham Knight. And type a 3 in the chat if you guys want me to play Hello Kitty Island Adventure. I've never played it before, but it's got all rave reviews.
wouldn't know it with Gogeta. He basically becomes Dragon Ball's Bugs Bunny, reveling and messing around with his foe any way he can.
Until the fusion runs out. That's right, the fusion dance has a time limit of 30 minutes. This can be reduced even more if Gogeta uses up a lot of energy. Against Omega Shenron in GT, he split apart after about 10 minutes.
Just more evidence that the amount of power Gogeta possesses is enormous. Even repeatedly striking Broly so hard that the boundaries between dimensions shattered like glass wasn't enough to burn through his time. Hell, he was only in Super Saiyan 1 when he did that. After going blue, Broly didn't stand a chance. Based on earlier in the film, Whis' reaction even implies that Gogeta could possibly take on Beerus.
In Dragon Ball Heroes, Gogeta continues to prove he's one of the
Outbreak
multiverses.
Games. W in the chat, yo. Yo, that's what's up. Yo, W's in the chat for Outbreak Games. Thanks for the super chat, Brody. All right, y'all. 9 more super chats left. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So you say Cash Game says... Cash Gang says 2. Boss Entertainment says 2.
S-tier fighters. He even defeated the Crimson Masked Super Saiyan Rose Full Power Goku Black and Ultimate God Slayer Heart the God
W's in the
Hater.
chat for Outbreak Games,
those
bros.
guys.
And 2 Gogetas
Appreciate you, Brody.
together could take on
Bro, you
Fu.
got good energy, man.
Just Fu. After all that, he's just called Fu.
Dark King Fu, the artificial bio-android demon mutant. He has Saiyan, Namekian, Earthling, Majin, and Eternal Dragon DNA.
Is this fan fiction?
Hearts the God Whiner claimed Fu could become an entity akin to Zeno, that little blue baby who can erase a multiverse with a thought.
But these Gogetas achieved even stronger forms than before. One was in Super Saiyan Blue Evolved, the boosted form Vegeta achieved during the Tournament of Power. The other was Super Saiyan 4, but not just any Super Saiyan 4. He was Super Full Power Saiyan 4 Limit Breaker. I think my tongue is permanently twisted now.
These 2 forms fighting side by side implies that, at least in this iteration, both are similar if not equal in power.
Gogeta's so cool! And there are tons of people who think he'd win this matchup.
In Weekly Jump issue 28 from 1995, the fusion dance was stated to unify Goku and Vegeta's spirits and draw out their power to the max. As long as a fight with Vegito lasts less than 30 minutes, the magazine says Gogeta should win.
And then in the video game Raging Blast, there's a what-if scenario where Gogeta
yo.
beats Vegito in a sparring session. But he was about to run out of energy, so maybe it could have gone either way.
Though with his
Yo,
power
Lizzie
and
Noel,
skill,
that's
it's
what's up.
unlikely any opponent would push Gogeta
Hey, hope you have
to
a
his
fantastic
limit.
day,
2 of the
BSD.
greatest warriors in
Yo,
history
I hope you have a
merged
fantastic
together
day as well,
one.
Lizzie Noel.
What more could
There's
you
a
want as a
second
fan?
super chat in the
What
stream,
more
yo.
could you fear as a
Yeah, I'm saying we're now at 2 super chat, 8 more super chats, and we're jumping into number 2. You guys said y'all wanted me to play an action game. This is like the first day, because look, says number 1 was a scary game, number 2 was action games, and number 3 was Hello Kitty Island Adventure. Number 3 was a joke. We'd never play a Hello Kitty Island Adventure, but so y'all want me to play an action game. So look, I got Batman Dark Arkham Knight. You know what I'm saying? So that was a choice. You know what I'm saying? So we're going to play that mug once we reach 8 more super chats. Got you guys coming up fresh. Never played the game before. We might even make a voiceover dub of that mug. Maybe.
It's the spring of 1995. A demonic menace has threatened to consume the world in chaos. Goku and Vegeta were pushed to the brink with only one option
Yo, that is
left.
so funny,
Fusion.
Outbreak Games.
They used one of their most incredible
really be
techniques to
thinking-
become a merged
people
being
really
of
be thinking-
unimaginable power. Does
See,
it
DM.
sound familiar?
I
But
got
there
you,
wasn't
Lizzie.
time to teach Vegeta an awkward
really
dance
be
routine
thinking
he
this is
ultimately
pre-recorded.
despised. Instead, they used the Patara.
Only the gods themselves could rock bling like this. That's right, the Patara earrings come from the Kais, the gods that supervise the universes.
By placing one earring on each person's opposite ear, the Patara forcibly fuses the 2 beings together, no power level matching required. In this case, Goku and Vegeta fuse to become Vegito.
Okay, seriously, Vegito? Couldn't they have a better name?
It's not that bad. And remember, Fusion Reborn started production well before Toriyama penned Vegito's first appearance.
So, Toei called dibs on the better name, huh? But still, shouldn't it be like Vajiku? Not like that's much better either. Why Vegito.
It makes more sense in Japanese. Vegito is formed from the first half of Vegeta and the latter half of Kakaroto. This is why Viz Media actually translated it to Vegerot.
Oh, that one sucks too. Okay, bored now. Let's talk about how he blows shit up real good.
Vegito has numerous techniques that are entirely his own, many of which are, fittingly, perfect combinations of Goku and Vegeta's signature moves, such as the Final Kamehameha, formed like Vegeta's Final Flash, but fired like Goku's Kamehameha wave. He's got a Spirit Sword, the Saiyan Shield, and the Banshee Blast. Which, no, it's not the ghost attack you're thinking of.
With Goku and Vegeta's powers combined, Majin Buu was no match. Super Vegeta was so friggin' powerful that
What if
even
Goku's
being
hair
turned into candy
also
didn't slow him
turned
down. It just made him delicious.
I don't know
His
what
level of
Super
power
Saiyan.
had
I
transcended
don't know
to
what
such an
Super
impressive
Saiyan.
degree that he was capable of effectively
what level
ignoring
would that
having
be?
his matter entirely altered and his DNA
Hey,
eradicated.
what's up, I Break
He
Games?
continued on as the incredible
Hey, hope
fighting
you're doing
candy.
good. Yeah,
No
I'm doing
mouth,
good, Lagann.
no brains,
What it
no
is, homie?
organs of any kind, and he still
Hope you're doing
kept
good as
slapping
well.
around that big pink ass.
Phrasing. Presumably, this is similar to how Vegeta overpowered Babidi's mind control, or how Goku broke through Hit's time skip with Kaioken. A greater power level can overrule basically anything a weaker one does. Though, to be fair, the Super Candy is a pretty extreme example.
But
Very
Vegeto's a pretty extreme guy, even for the Dragon Ball multiverse. He later got that godly blue hairspray and beat the crap out of merged Zamasu, a double deity. Like a fusion dick measuring contest, but not at all close.
Though similar to his dancing counterpart, Vegeto's time ran out after he overtaxed himself.
Which was kinda weird. Back in the day, they said these Potara fusions were permanent. Turns out it's only permanent for Supreme Kais. Vegeto's form can last up to 1 hour before splitting apart, but can be shortened severely if he goes full tilt. In the manga, Vegito formed after Zamasu fused, and split apart when they expected fused Zamasu to have 20 minutes left. Meaning he cut his time down to
Legendary
40
Super
minutes at
Saiyan
most.
Green.
Though in the anime, it
I can
was
see
way
that,
less since he
Apex.
tried
That's
to
real
quickly
talk.
overpower Zamasu with a single attack.
The Potara have their own set of rules. Unlike the fusion dance, this form is maintained by the power of the earrings, not the fusers themselves. As such, destroying the earrings ends the fusion.
And if you slap the Potara on while in a Super Saiyan form, you can't power down while fused. So if Goku and Vegeta aren't careful, they can find themselves draining power when they don't need to. But surprise, Vegeto's got into his own Super Dragon Ball Hero shenanigans, and he's got the full power Red Fur 2. Look, Wiz, I think I'm having deja vu.
Aside from Fu, he's battled heavy-hitting threats to the multiverse like Cumber and Mechikabura.
And just like with Gogeta, there's plenty of people
Hey, what's
who
up,
think
Apex?
Vegeta would win this
What's up,
fight.
Samurai Gaming?
Daisetsu's 4 and 7, basically
Yeah,
two
Super
Dragon
Form
Ball
5.
encyclopedias,
Pretty much Cody
claim
there,
that the
like-
Potara fusion is superior to the
Electabuzz.
fusion dance.
Ah,
Kai said
Pokemon.
this too, that the Potara provide a greater effect.
Though they both may be referring to what was believed at the time to be a permanent
Who's my favorite
fusion,
character in Dragon
not
Ball
having
Z?
to worry about
My favorite character in all of Dragon Ball is Broly. Hands down. You know what I'm saying?
overspending your time limit would certainly be a greater effect if it were true.
But hey, there's nothing that can get in the way of Vegeto's awesome power. Gods and demons alike are no match. When there's no one strong enough to save the day, then perhaps two will do.
This show is sponsored by BetterHelp.
Life can be overwhelming, and many people are burned out without even knowing it.
Symptoms can include
Therapy and percent off their
are. All right, the combatants are set. We've run the data through all possibilities.
Yep, I stream
Hear
on
my
Twitch.
wish, Eternal Dragon. It's time for a death battle!
I break games. Anyway, you've been, what's your new hobbies? You gotta be getting bored of reactions. Hey, I break games. Hey guys, type a 1 in the chat if you get bored watching the YouTube videos that you like watching on YouTube. Type a 1 in the chat if you get bored watching the YouTube videos you like to watch. Type a 2 in the chat if you don't get bored of things you like to do because you like to do them. Oh boy. Man, speaking of things I won't ever get bored of, I'm gonna go get me a root beer float in a second. You know what I'm saying? Type a 1 in the chat if you're type a 4 in the chat if you are bored of ice cream floats, root beer floats. You know what I'm saying? Type a 2 in the chat if ice cream floats or root beer floats will be delicious for fucking ever. You gotta be bored of the things you like to do. Word.
What is this madness?
Whoa, Vegeta! Am I really that much taller than you?
Stop it, Kakarot! You... Chun...
Dr. Pepper float. Dude, that sounds delicious, Outbreak Games. What other type of foods do you guys like to eat? You know what I'm saying? Look, I love root beer floats. I love hot Doritos. You know what I'm saying? Like, y'all trying to give me the love Takis someday soon, hopefully. You know what I'm saying? I love hot Cheeto Puffs, regular hot Cheetos, hot Doritos, hot Funyuns, hot Ruffles. I can't get bored of hot Ruffles. You know what I'm saying? Yo. But with that being said, once we reach 8 more super chats, we's jumping into Batman Arkham Knight. And no, Batman's not black because that would be punny since it's named Knight. We're going to edit that out. Some jokes just don't land. You know, but yeah, it's the second, third, or fourth installment of the Batman Arkham series. You know, turn up. Bro, we got the fight scene popping. Oh, yeah. Well, you know what? You know what, guys? Someday soon, probably tomorrow or like the day after, we're going to do a death battle reaction, but only the fights. Type of 1 in the chat if you guys want to do like 2 hours of just the death battle fights. None of the talking. You know what I'm saying? Type of 2 in the chat if y'all would just rather that be a day where I play scary games from the get-go. I wonder what song this is.
Not bad. Want to kick it up a notch? Sure. But how about some variety?
Hey, what's up, Pepe? That's understandable, Kodas, the hedgehog. Oh, snap. Oh, that's awesome, UF. Hot Cheetos for me, bro. I love Hot Cheetos. I mean, bro, I remember when I first started dating Hot Cheetos, you know what I'm saying? Because, like, me and Hot Cheetos, man, you know what I'm saying? Like, we've been together for, like, years. It's like it's all of eternity, pretty much. I remember it, man. My first bag of Hot Cheetos was with a $10 food stamp, you know what I mean, that my mother had given me. No, I got the $10 food stamp for helping a woman clean her house and like fix her garden and stuff like that. Like this is one of my second youngest memories. I was like 9 years old, right? So, you know what I'm saying? And this one's gonna be sentimental, you know what I'm saying? Because it's when I first got into Hot Cheetoism. You know what I'm saying? So this woman asked me to help her take her groceries into her apartment, right? Now, I was about 9 years old. I was walking around, hanging out outside, and this lady had just gotten all of her groceries. She put them at the front of her door. She had to walk up her stairs and get them into her apartment. She asked me, yo, young man, would you like to make a dollar or two? And I was like, fuck yeah, I do. You know what I'm saying? Grew up very poor, very destitute. You know, not prostitute, but destitute. You know, that was later in life. But yeah, you know, she asked me to help her bring her stuff upstairs, and I was like, all right, cool, I got you. You know what I'm saying? So we go upstairs. You know, I'll bring her groceries upstairs. I help her with all of her bags, take them into her house. And, you know, she asked me to help her clean a little bit too. So I helped her clean her crib and whatnot. You know what I mean? Helped situate some stuff, swept the floors, you know what I'm saying? Vacuumed the rug and whatnot. And then, you know, I was only expecting a dollar or two, but, you know, she gave me $10. You know what I'm saying? She gave me a $10 food stamp. And back then, that was big money. You know what I'm saying? I was rich. So I went to the store, you know what I'm saying? And I don't even know why I got a bag of Hot Cheetos. I think it was destiny. Yeah, I'm saying, or like serendipity or something like that. Like, look, maybe Cupid Zero I got shot with it. Bag of hot Cheetos, the first thing I laid my eyes on. So I was like, you know what I mean? Twitter paid it and shit. So, you know what I mean? So, you know, I opened up the bag, and on the first hot Cheeto, you know, it burned my stomach so bad, I nearly threw up everywhere. You know what I mean? But I didn't. No, actually I didn't. It was just so hot that I had to like find something to drink, but I ate the whole bag. So when I first started, I had to like taper onto hot Cheetos the same way you have to taper off of heroin. And don't ask me why. I know you got to taper off for it in New Jack City. So, you know what I'm saying? So I had to like eat, like I could only eat like one bag a month at first. But after a while, you know what I mean, my tolerance went up, like with snake poisoning. And then I was able to like eat more and more hot Cheetos. And now I can, you know what I mean? I could do like 6 bags an hour if I really need be. You know, I won't survive. I'll die in the bathroom. But it'll be a warrior's death, because the morning after a lot of bags of hot Cheetos is a fight to the death sometimes, nigga. That's real. Oh, did I make the screen big yet? I did. None? Oh, that's the PhD story time for the day, people. Yeah, I'm saying none. I got you in the DMs, Lindsay.
Gotcha! Guess it's now or never.
God damn. Yo, W's in the chat. Yo, Pure Hardcore just said 13 straight through the channel, Brody. Yo, hey BHD, hope you're doing great. Stay cool. Hey, Pure Hardcore, hope you're doing great as well, man. You stay cool too. Likewise, homies. Yo, you guys got great energy today, man. What's up, Nate? Yo, all right, so what death battle you guys want to check out next? Type of 1 in the chat. You know what I'm saying? If y'all want me to turn on another death battle, type of 2 in the chat. Y'all want me to check out some scary videos, type of 3 in the chat. If y'all want to go to the strip club and see if how low can she go, you know, like if she can get low. I like my chicks to get under, you know what I mean? Like a lot of people like their chicks to get under. I like my chicks to get under, like get, you know, like, you know what I mean? Like incoming bitch, like that's how low she gotta get. All right, we got it. My bad. I'm gonna edit that out. Like really, really under. God damn. Damn, bitch. W's in the chat for Pure Hardcore. All right, we're going to check out some more death battles. You know what I'm saying? I got you. Death battle Goku Black versus Reverse Flash. I got y'all. Spawn versus Ghost Rider. Okay. So my super chatters have precedence on choosing what we check out next. Anyone that's super chatted $5 or more has precedence as far as the super chat suggestion. But a super chat request that's 1,000,000% what we watching, regardless of what I'm watching. You know what I'm saying? But the super chat suggestion is if I run out of things to watch, the super chatters choose. You know what I'm saying? Either that or one of my girlfriends. That's a joke. I swear to God, we gonna edit that out. It's okay, guys. I don't think my girlfriend watches Death Battle. We should be fine.
Epic. Totally worth the wish. Oh, I guess we probably could have solved a lot of world problems.
We're
with
char-
that.
we're-
I
We're
suppose
cooked.
world domination can wait another year.
She
This
gonna
fight
fight me.
was incredibly close.
We cooked.
Nope, seriously, how could it not be? They're almost exactly the
Probably
same
gonna
person.
fist
With
fight
a
me
few
again.
minor differences here and there, like signature attacks,
Huh?
neither Vegito nor Gogeta had one single power that provided an absolute edge over the other.
Except perhaps Vegito's longer time limit, though it's not so clear-cut. Both have overtaxed their energy quick enough to end their fusions in less than 10 minutes.
Oh.
Time isn't the only factor, but
Yep.
also whatever is maintained
I got a
each
Discord,
fusion.
right?
Gogeta's
what I'm
body
saying?
and Vegito's earrings. It's possible Vegito's power can actually drain the Potara faster than
Yeah.
Gogeta's does his own
GTA Strip
body.
Club
Still,
always
it's twice
goes hard.
the time, and that definitely gave Vegito more
Understandable, Joel
flexibility
Young.
and strategy. So more often than not, it's safe to say Gogeta would run out of juice first.
Also, when Vegeta or Gogeta defuse from power overuse, it's typically difficult for them to immediately fuse again due to that lack of energy.
But Vegito had another one over Gogeta. No matter what, he'd always have a very slight power advantage. Remember how the fusion
Hey,
dance
thank you,
requires
Kodaz the
the fusers
Hedgehog.
to match their
I
power
hope you have a
levels?
best day as well.
The Potara don't need
Hope you
that.
guys are all
Goku
out
doesn't
there
need to
having
match
good
Vegeta's
days.
slightly lower power levels,
Eating
so
plenty of
there's
bags of
nothing
hot
stopping
Cheetos,
Vegito from combining
looking
the
at
full sum
a
of their
large
parts.
amount of women's
Poor
bosoms.
Vegeta. You'll get your day in the
Consensually,
sun
yes.
one day, buddy. Oh, who am I kidding?
This might be what Old Kai was referring to when he said the Potara had a greater effect.
But hey, could Gogeta have destroyed the earrings? Nope. He would have had to be able to overpower Vegito first, like how Goku could only destroy Kefla's earrings after he reached Ultra Instinct.
Let's see if we can hear this. Oh, dude, it's like snapping someone's neck in a fighting movie.
Remember, when comparing levels of power in Dragon Ball, the greater one can overrule almost anything the weaker one does. The earrings likely tend to be protected by the user's
That's understandable
keyboard,
that you-
similar to their clothing.
That's understandable that you never super chat Cody to elect the buzz because it looks unsafe. Understandable. Yeah, I'm saying, you know what looks unsafe to me? Any DM that has a link in it. Yeah, I'm saying any DM that has a link in it always looks unsafe. Yeah, I'm saying, bro, oh my God, like one of my biggest fears is clicking a link, man, and them shutting down my computer and then hitting me up and telling me that I owe $500 in Prawn Hub bills, you know, like they hit and they shut down your computer and then they're like, oh, we're the FBI and we know that you watch naked ladies on the internet, so we're gonna immediately like, you know what I'm saying, you know, we're gonna put you in jail for liking titty meat, you know, or you can give us $500 on a gift card. And that's messed up. You know what I'm saying? It'll even be even more messed up when you realize that's happened to me. Bruh, someone shut down my computer and then I think this was separate situations. So my computer got shut down and then they sent me a message saying, oh, you know, give us $300 and we'll unlock it. Otherwise, you're going to jail for 10 years. And I'm like, the math ain't mathing. So you're saying there's stuff on my computer that's so terrifyingly horrible that I could go to jail for 10 years. But you wouldn't have let me off the hook for $300, motherfucker? Word? I'm about to cry laughing from this. It's too early for this shit, nigga. I'm about to cry laughing from this one. That shit had me dying rolling, bruh. Like, it was, if you guys have ever seen that guy that trolls the scam callers, and then he reads the gift card numbers back to him as an old lady and then cashes them in for himself in front of him, and the guy has a nuclear meltdown. That's the type of talk on the phone it was when that person called me. I was like, bro, it ain't even like that, bro. I don't really, yeah, I mean, like, everyone's got some dirt on them, but my dirt ain't that dirty. You know what I'm saying? My dirt ain't nowhere near that dirty. So, you know what I'm saying? I know this is some bullshit. It's hilarious. You know what I'm saying? I have so many of those stories, man. You know what I mean? People out here think I'm like sauteing dogs, like in my off time, when the truth is I'm playing nunchucks and trying to convince a female to take her shirt off. You know what I'm saying? Hey guys, what's the number one thing, bruh? You know what I'm saying? Like, bruh, like, man, that's too. Yeah, That's too
The
funny.
only time we've ever seen Potara damaged or specifically targeted are when the wearer is overwhelmed or in a vulnerable state. If
Bruh.
any stray key blast could destroy them, we'd have a lot more broken earrings by now.
Lastly, there's some debate over their personalities.
Is there a death
In their
battle
first
that
appearances,
you
Vegito seemed rather
personally
cocky and
want to
playful.
see? Honestly, Goku Black versus Reverse Flash. That'll do. That'll do somehow. Let me see. Any suggestions from the super chatters? Yes. Let's see. Oh yeah, that one will do.
Against Boo, whereas Gogeta was far more deliberate against Janemba, and thus far more successful. However, these are not core personality traits, and assuming so would be inconsistent with Vegito's serious fight with Zamasu and Gogeta's more brash fights with Broly and Omega Shenron. Context is key. As far as personality and mental ability goes, Gogeta and Vegito are practically identical. In the end, Vegito's higher
Understandable.
power level, no matter how slight it was, made a big difference in protecting and maintaining his longer, more flexible time limit.
Gogeta was
Understandable.
gonna need meta more than that to beat Vegito. Sorry, Wiz, I know that pun was potarible.
Wait, shut up.
Nah.
Earth's Dragon Balls give 2
What
wishes,
is
right?
Potaro?
Yeah, hey Shenron, I wish for you to fuse me and Wiz.
All right, you guys, we got 7 more super chats until we're jumping into the action game of the day, which is Batman Arkham Knight. You know what I'm saying? Cannot wait, bro. My favorite thing to do, like, it's like literally reverse boredom for me, is like playing against tons of enemies in a Batman game where you can fight. You know what I'm saying? Like, it is my shite. I'm telling you. You know what I'm saying? Just, I don't know what it is. I think, I do know what it is. You know what I'm saying? I grew up getting into a lot of fights. You know what I mean? So like being able to take out like 20, 30 people at the same time,
You know, 20.
that's just my shit. You know what I'm saying? In real life, probably get stabbed. But in fake life, that shit's awesome.
21 is Adam and Eve's 50th birthday.
And to celebrate, they want to give you a gift. No, 10 gifts.
Huh, usually it would be the other way around.
If you use our code BATTLE at adamandeve.com, you'll get 50% off almost any one item.
Then Adam and Eve loads on the free stuff.
That's a gift for him, a gift for her, and something for the both of you.
Plus 6 free movies and free shipping.
Remember, that's offer code BATTLE, B-A-T-T-L-E, at adamandeve.com for 50% off almost any one item.
What the fuck is adamandeve.com? Is that where you buy lube? Is that where you purchase the Diddy oils at?
Goku Black, the body-stealing
I
arbiter
can't even
of
fight my
divine
mom either,
justice.
man.
And the reverse flash.
You know how many
DC's
fights I've lost to my
psychopathic
mother?
speedster fanboy.
Think
They
about it. I've
say
lost a
imitation
lot
is
of
the
fist
sincerest
fights
form
against
of
my mom,
flattery.
man.
But I'd say the sincerest form of flattery is not trying to kill your superhero husbando.
Okay, look. So when we reach the super chat milestone, which is 7 more super chats, once we're playing Batman Arkham Knight, we're gonna do story time. And the first story time I'm gonna tell y'all is the story of when I lost a fist fight to my mother, for obvious reasons. You know what I'm saying? I've lost many fist fights. You know what I mean? But that was one that sucked. She had a weapon though. She had a belt and a shoe. It's cheating. One time a coat hanger, another time a switch, another time a different shoe. But the difference, but the most important thing is that I survived. You know, shit. Someone else heard my screams. One time I got whooped so bad, someone else heard my screams of displeasure and called the police on me for me.
He's Wiz and I'm Boomstick.
And it's our job to analyze their weapons, armor, and skills to find out who
Oh,
would win a
damn.
death battle.
Huh?
What consumes the thoughts of a god? What do immortals dream
Sex
of with all
stuff,
the
says
time in the
Nate.
world? In Zamasu's case, his one goal was divine justice.
Yeah, this guy's got major Final Fantasy big
I should be
energy
streaming
all over
Saturday.
him.
As the assistant to Universe 10's Supreme God,
Hey, what's up, Trezzy?
Zamasu prized
On Saturday, I'm gonna be streaming from my phone. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna be streaming because I'm going out to VidCon. I'm going out to DreamCon. So I'm gonna be streaming out there in Texas.
above all else, cosmic order and natural beauty.
Oh, that reminds me. Did you know I can burp and fart at the same time? Here, let me try.
No.
Unsurprisingly, Zamasu despised the inherently chaotic nature of mortals, being seemingly unwilling to lift themselves out of their own cycle of violence
Yes,
and
never
stupidity,
blink.
like some people
Or-
I know.
Yeah, I know those people too.
Or
His heart
stuff.
was clouded. until the day he met Son Goku.
With God Ki, Goku could match blows with the god of destruction, Beerus. Their clash nearly destroyed the entirety of Universe 7, a cosmological structure at least 9 times larger than our own universe. At most, it could even be as large as 13 times greater than ours. Side note, it's worth mentioning that when 2 gods of
I hurt my leg, that's why I walk like that.
Casually destroying 2 of these universes.
And since the shockwaves from their punches traveled across Universe 7 in seconds, they'd have to be hitting way faster than light.
Goku was tapping into his Super Saiyan God form for this, though clearly not at its full strength. While the exact multiplier for Super Saiyan Blue is unknown, Toriyama
that's the
himself
stuff I
has
break
directly
games.
compared it to the original Super Saiyan form.
And don't forget, Goku trained with Whis and fought
is
in
a
the
pull-up
tournament
bar.
with Universe 6 before Zamasu caught up with him. So by that time, he was way stronger.
Here was a mortal with the powers of gods beyond even Zamasu's abilities. Someone who could bring his dreams to fruition.
So Sammy did what anyone would do in that situation. Kill his master to become the Supreme Kai, wish on the Super Dragon Balls to switch bodies with Goku, and kill every single mortal in the universe.
And thus the deity Zamasu became Goku Black.
Please, Goku Black? You couldn't be more creative?
Now, you might be wondering, why didn't he just wish all the mortals dead? But that wouldn't be as fun, would it? Black's got all of Goku's strength and powers, but wielded by a genocidal maniac instead of that lovable goober of a monkey man.
And in keeping with Goku's Saiyan heritage and godly ki, Black can easily achieve the form of Super Saiyan God Super Saiyan.
But with a champagneful twist.
Super Saiyan Rose.
Rose? Really? What is he, a suburban wine mom? Watch out before he unlocks Super Saiyan Live, Laugh, Love! He stole Goku's techniques too, like the instant transmission, where he focuses on a person's key signature to teleport to their location. He's even got the Black Kamehameha, which is a Kamehameha, but pink.
And with a Saiyan body, he gets stronger and stronger every time he almost dies. He just becomes harder and harder to kill.
Which really sucks for the rest of the universe, because Black is kinda like if Goku just snapped one day and used his powers to their full murderous potential.
Like the God Split Cut, where he surrounds his hands with a keyblade to slice you to ribbons. He used this very technique to, kill Goku's family.
He can even extend this Keyblade into a huge curved one called the Azure Dragon Sword, which, along with his Kamehameha, confirms my suspicions that Goku is colorblind.
Actually, Black's Azure Dragon Sword is named after a legendary weapon wielded by one of Earth's greatest warriors, the
Goku
Desert
Black.
Bandit
That's
Yamcha.
racist.
Wait, what?
And he can make a scythe and slice open space-time itself to create a bunch of shadow clones. Black, not Crater Boy over here. But his most dastardly weapon isn't a key technique at all. It's the time ring he got from his dead master.
This ring allowed Black to travel through time, and even escape into future Trunks' alternate timeline, where he had free reign over the entire universe.
And let him team up with his best bud.
Yep, we're doing a bunch of death
Too
battle.
bad Goku and company showed up to spoil the fun. But wait, isn't Zamasu in Goku's body? How are there 2 Gokus? There's only one Goku in the multiverse, right? But Goku met Black before he met Zamasu, which means Black existed before Zamasu came up with the idea. And then they killed Zamasu before he could do it anyway, but Goku Black was still around? What the hell is going on?
Sure, it's a classic grandfather's paradox. The thing is, Black's time ring prevents him from being affected by alterations to his own personal timeline. So, killing him in the past doesn't change his future, and vice versa. He's almost impossible to kill because even if you do it at one point in time, he still exists at another point in time. And another, and another, and another.
Oh, God, I hate time travel. Black has crushed Saiyans like Goku, Vegeta, and Trunks. Hell, even Vegito couldn't beat him. He even merged with the universe to become one with everything. Like I said, major Final Fantasy villain vibes here.
It took Zeno, the Omni King, the most powerful being in all of creation, to step in and erase that entire timeline just to stop Black's rampage. How ironic. Zamasu's higher calling was the eradication of all mortal life in the universe, and he stole the strongest mortal's body to do it. But in the end, he was always doomed to fail. His quest for power meant nothing against a being that would always be stronger, no matter what he did or who he was.
And the universe ended up being destroyed.
Hey, what's up, Shadow Gamer?
It's like one big cosmic joke with no one left to laugh.
You've been running around making messes for too long, and now I'm going to choke the life from you. I can't wait to watch you die.
Barry Allen, The Flash. is one of the greatest heroes in history, an inspiration to many across time and space. And there's no better example than his #1 fan from the 25th century, Eobard Thawne.
All right, Wiz, we've tackled a lot of stupid names for things in our years here at Death Battle, but I'm confident that Eobard is the dumbest f***ing first name I've ever heard in my life. Eobard was completely obsessed with the Flash and dedicated his whole life to studying the Speed Force like a total nerd. Good luck to him, because there's no way he's figuring that shit out.
But Thawne's life irrevocably changed the day he discovered a time capsule from the 21st century. By some strange coincidence, it just so happened to contain Barry's costume. By experimenting on it, Thawne managed to replicate the Flash's powers, turning himself into a mirror of his idol.
And you can bet he totally crapped himself when Barry Senpai showed up in the future and took him under his wing. It was a dream come true.
Until Barry realized that Thawne had fabricated crimes in order to show up and save the day. Disgraced, Thawne promised to better himself before traveling to the past to prove his worth to his hero, to prove that their bond was special.
That's when Thawne found out that Barry already had a best friend, and a family, and a life without him. He didn't matter. He wasn't special. He was just a nobody Barry tossed out in the trash and forgot about. Like my Tinder dates do to me.
If only. When Thawne visited the Flash Museum in Barry's time, he discovered the secret identity to Flash's greatest enemy that in his future had been lost to time. The one Barry was fated to kill in battle. Eobard Thawne. Oh, wait a minute.
Oh, ain't that a bitch? The shock drove Thawne mad. If he couldn't be Flash's best friend, he'd be his greatest enemy. And I guess
I've had that happen to me a lot.
so ensure his own future death.
He would travel from the future to terrorize the Flash family in the past. Revenge in reverse. He'd become the Reverse Flash.
Reverse Flash? We're really setting the world on fire with these names today, huh, Wiz?
Thawne draws his powers from the negative Speed Force, which he generates with every step he takes, just like Barry does with the regular Speed Force. The negative Speed Force gives Thawne access to many of the Flash's powers, including his mind-bending super speed, enough to travel all across time and space in days. He can keep up with and
He's like Frollo. I couldn't tell if you meant he was like Foolio or real Frollo. Cody, the Electro Buzz. Yes. Nate MJ Jones. Completely psychotic. More than likely. More than 11. I'm a fan of the Flash. You know what I'm saying? But then again, they're all superheroes. I love watching them all, you know?
Pass other speedsters like Barry and Wally,
who once ran fast enough to cross the universe faster than two gods who could teleport. Wally even beat himself in a race, and Barry admitted Thawne was still faster than that. Wait just a second, he beat himself? That doesn't even make sense.
But unlike Barry and Wally, Thawne applies his powers more catastrophically, using them to their full potential without any care for collateral. Take, for instance, his ability to vibrate himself through solid objects.
Objects like, say, vital organs. And if he did, he'd scramble their molecules, causing instant death. Thawne did just that to Barry's wife, Iris, and Barry did not appreciate it.
Thawne's vibrations are so powerful, he can even produce a counterforce that can reverse the destruction of the entire universe.
Pretty crazy sounding, but even B-tier speedsters like Jenny Ognats can do the same kind of thing. And when Barry and Wally raced each other, they were tearing up the entire multiverse.
Thawne can create shockwaves with a snap, phase into your body and possess you, and even speak at such high speeds that you'll hear his words as though they were your own thoughts. And instead of stealing your speed like other Flashes, he can steal your time.
Yeah, Thawne can yoink decades from your life and age you 80 years in just a few seconds.
That's
Kinda
wild.
sounds like your sex life, huh, Wiz?
But Thawne's greatest ability is his unmatched skill at time travel, and he uses this expertise to be as
Frollo
petty
from
and
Hunchback.
cruel as humanly
I don't know
possible.
who that is.
Thawne wasn't a dummy. He knew that if he went back in time to kill Barry before he got his powers, he'd erase himself from the time stream too. So instead, he'd just make Barry's life suck as hard as he could, push him down some stairs, retcon his best friend from history, kill his mom. He even told Barry he'd go back in time and adopt him as his own son. Dude, what the fuck?
That's another big difference between Thawne and Barry. Whereas Barry only went back in time to save his mother's life, Thawne often went back in time to try to fix his own mediocre life. He killed his more successful younger brother, his career rival at the Flash Museum, and every single boyfriend his crush had until there was no one left but him.
And when she still rejected him, he went back in time again and made her an invalid for the rest of her life. Jesus Christ! This guy's a...
Damn! That is evil. Sheesh.
Humanly possible.
Thawne wasn't a dummy. He knew that if he went back in time to kill Barry before he got his powers, he'd erase himself from the time stream too. So instead, he'd just make Barry's life suck as hard as he could, push him down some stairs, retcon his best friend from history, kill his mom. He even told Barry he'd go back in time and adopt him as his own son. Dude, what the fuck?
That's another big difference between Thawne and Barry. Whereas Barry only went back in time to save his mother's life, Thawne often went back in time to try to fix his own
Reverse Flash is
life. He killed his more successful younger brother, his career rival at the Flash Museum, and every single boyfriend his crush had until there was no one left but him.
And when she still rejected him, he went back in time again and...
No one left but museum. And every single boyfriend his crush had until there was no one left but him.
And when she still rejected him, he went back in time again and made her an invalid for the rest of her life. Jesus Christ! This guy's a monster.
That's
But wait,
ruthless.
Wiz, that's impossible. Grandpappy Paradox or whatever. If he went back in time to kill someone, they'd be dead in the future, which means...
Bro, it's hella evil, Shadow
means
Gamer.
he'd never know them and want to go back in time in the first place, right?
Wiz, maybe time is a construct with no legitimate unit of measurement other
Understandable,
than the
Nate.
meager attempts man has made to understand the incomprehensible world around him.
Well, actually,
That's cool that your
Thawne was
favorite
just
color, your
inside the
favorite
time
character
stream when
is
Barry initiated
Loves no
Flashpoint,
see that.
which rewrote the universe while Thawne was technically disconnected.
Bro, is
from
more evil. Bro,
So
is
Thawne
more evil.
essentially broke. Literally, figuratively, mentally, physically, temporally.
Or maybe
Can I
he
hear
just
you?
hated Barry
No.
so much it
This is
defied the laws of
pre-recorded.
time itself.
What's up, Yuri?
Whoa.
What's up, Lean?
More
What's up, Akara?
specifically, he became
This
a
is pre-recorded.
living paradox, a being without a past or
What's
future.
up, Alex?
Literally,
Hey,
without
what's up, Akara?
continuity.
Glad to see you
Not
back.
only did this mean he'd be unaffected by
what it
changes
is, my
to his
guy?
past, it made him effectively
What's up, Lean?
immortal.
Stabbed in the chest by evil Batman, vaporized by Iris in some sweet, sweet payback, or
Oh.
getting Dr. Manhattaned by the big blue god dong himself. Thawne was always reborn, unable to stay dead.
But more than anything, it made him immune from consequences.
Unlike Barry, whose changes to time could destroy all of reality, Thawne could do whatever he wanted. He was impossible to stop, with no reason to hold back.
He survived
Dang.
a hit from Barry while he had the entire Speed Force absorbed into him, and even Wally's infinite mass punch, which has the mass of a white dwarf star. A white dwarf is essentially the remains of a star's ultra-dense core,
What's up,
which has
y'all?
a mass of over 2 octillion tons.
Hey.
And he took one of those to the noggin and
Thanks
just
for
took a
joining the
nap.
fan club,
Man, he
guys.
must really hate Barry if a sun to the face can't take him down.
But he doesn't.
What's
hate
up, y'all?
Barry. All of his
I'm saying,
schemes,
if you
all of
guys-
his machinations, all of his insane timeline-shattering threats, all of it was because it was the only way he could think of to spend time with his hero.
That's really sad.
His costume says it all. He never intended to be the Reverse Flash. He wanted to be the Kid Flash. All Thawne ever really desired was to be by Barry's side.
In the end, though, goody little Two Shoes Barry forgave him, and then vibrated away his living paradox powers, erasing him from existence.
Though not entirely. Barry didn't kill Thawne, he reset his timeline, removing the one thing driving his hatred, his relationship with Barry. Without that, Thawne was a normal, happy Flash fan once again.
It's Comics Wiz, he'll be back. And when he does, there'll be no running. He'll always be faster, he'll always catch you, and time is always on his side.
Still think you can take me? Even death can't catch me.
Huh?
All right, the combatants are set. We've run the data through all possibilities.
But first, let me tell you how to reverse things in the bedroom in a flash with Blue Chew.
This episode is sponsored by Blue Chew.
If I've learned anything from years of hosting a show while having very few actual skills, it's that confidence can take you far in life.
That's why Blue Chew delivers the same active ingredients as Viagra and Cialis in chewable tablet form right to your door.
Yep, and did we mention you can get Blue Chew's tablets at a fraction of the cost of those other guys?
Getting ready to go is simple. Just sign up at BlueChew.com, consult with...
Ew, Blue Chew. I mean, yeah, it's not my thing. You got a reverse flash? That's cool.
It was me,
Who got in this fight?
I was the one.
Okay, so let's see. Reverse flash. I'm going to have reverse flash in this one. You know what I'm saying? I'm hoping that reverse flash wins. You know what I'm saying? Yo, what's up? Yo, that's cool that you're going to be on in 3.5 hours, bros. Yo, sounds good. Ippo. Ippo is a pretty good anime. Rate my song. Hey, LNT, that's a 50 in super chat. That's a super chat request. If you want me to react to your song live on my stream on YouTube, you know what I'm saying? It's a 50 directly into my tip jar. You can get to my tip jar by coming over to my YouTube stream right now. That's on my reaction channel. You know what I'm saying? It's called Blasphemous HD TV2. The links is in the bio, the whatever it is. The link's in the bio. You know, come through, let me know you're from TikTok, and say you want to super chat request me for me to check out your song on stream. You know what I'm saying? Super chat it directly through my tip jar, which is the link that's pinned in my comment section over on my stream on YouTube, and I'll check your song out. You know what I'm saying? In front of everyone. But yeah. But that's what's up. Hey, LNT, at what moment did you fall in love with making music, Brody? That's really cool. You're going to reverse flash. That's what's up. And or 50 directly into my cash apps. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Sinners, prepare for divine justice.
Yo, what's up, Yuri? Hey, glad to see you from TikTok, Brody. Yeah, man. Oh my God. They murking everybody. Dang. Oops. Make sure to come over from my TikTok over to my YouTube. That way you can see what I'm live streaming on my YouTubes, because I can't show you on TikTok. I'll be banned. Hey, what's up, Milano? What it is, Brody? You know what I mean? All right, so make sure to come over to my YouTube.
Okay.
What do you think of this color? Is it not beautiful?
That's a super chat request if you want the OG TikTok YouTube intro. That's a super chat request. Send your boy 5 galaxies. You know what I'm saying? And I got you.
Incoming genius. I'll end this fight before it even began. Death in reverse.
Magnificent. Mortals, sinners, prepare for divine.
What? I'm about to rewind this. Oh my God. Yeah, we got to rewind this. Yep.
Mortals, sinners, prepare for divine justice.
Oh my goodness. Not the coffee. Not the innocent coffee drinkers. Come on, baby. Ooh. How did you miss? Bro, you missed and hit the coffee cup.
Oops.
Yeah, that's not gonna work on the flash.
I'm in need of your services.
Hey, what's up, Milano? From TikTok? No, that's lit.
Tell them face your judgment, mortal.
Okay.
Ooh. Oh.
What do you think of this color? Is it not beautiful?
Hey, what's up, Tron? Ooh. What's up? Alright, you guys, once we reach 7 more super chats, we'll be going into our action game of the day. Batman Arkham Knight. Love the fight scenes on that thing. If you guys want to see what I'm reacting to on TikTok, come over to my YouTubes. You know what I'm saying? That's where...
Mortals, sinners, prepare to defy.
So make sure to follow me up on this mother. Oh.
Why aren't you dead?
Oh. Oh. Ooh. What was he doing there?
Stand atop all things and look down upon creation itself. That is the work of a god!
Empty threats to a living paradox!
How truly foolish.
Sorry, was that important?
Yo! Oh!
How fun.
Oh! Oh!
KO! You know, we've
What's
sent enough
happened?
people to that sun. We really should have a timeshare.
This was a fairly
That
tricky
was
matchup to figure
wild.
out, least of all for their incredible level of
Bruh.
power.
Black could destroy a
That was
universe like
wild,
ours
bruh.
at least
Yeah, happy tree
660
friends.
times over. I mean,
No,
a punch at
hey,
least
thank
as
you
big
for
as a
that
star
new
is really
stash, blood.
badass. But that's
I
another
appreciate
league.
you there.
However,
Right
there
there.
was a lot more to cover than just
Yo.
how many stars or universes.
You guys
they
have good
explore.
energy, yo.
At their peak, both Goku
Hey,
Black and
what's up,
Reverse
Alamia
Flash were so
James?
impressive they were removed from time itself, becoming living paradoxes, making any attempt to kill either of them meaningless.
Stupid time travel.
It's difficult to determine who would figure out a counter to this temporal invincibility first, but it would most likely rely on a combination of speed and smarts.
As far as speed goes, it's no surprise Thawne definitely had the edge. Yeah, Black's attacks could reach speeds quintillions of times faster than light, but Thawne is a Flash.
Even early in his career as a member of the Flash family, Wally West could reach speeds that were impossible to comprehend and calculate. There are numerous examples of this for multiple iterations of the Flash, many of whom Thawne was clearly equal to.
Plus, he's kind of an expert when it comes to timey-wimey bullshit.
And he could likely overpower Black and destroy said time ring too. After all, Thawne once generated enough energy to counter the destruction of the entire DC universe, which is stated in comics to be at least 100 trillion light years in diameter. That's over 1 billion times larger than our own universe, and over 70 million times larger than Dragon Ball's Universe 7.
It's sort of impossible to lock down the exact limits of Goku Black's upper strength without getting into lots of assumptions and guesswork. He's obviously stronger than Goku was when he clashed with Beerus, but even being super generous with training and power boosts and multipliers, the
Hey,
gap here
thank
is
you for the
way
hat,
too
plug.
wide to be able to just
Thank
assume
you for the hat
Goku Black
and
can match
mustache.
this level of power. The DC universe
Yo,
is just
you guys have
too
great
big.
energy, man.
And remember, Barry and Wally's race almost ripped apart the entire DC multiverse.
It's also important to stress that Goku Black is not Goku. Goku's drive and willpower can push through even the most absurd limits to potentially match higher levels of power. Zamasu took Goku's body because he's more than willing to take shortcuts. It's an entirely different mindset.
Yeah, and once he took care of that time ring, Reverse Flash had a lot more options than just overpowering Black. With that super speed, he could pretty easily scramble Black's insides or age him to death with a touch.
Hey, what's up,
Zamasu
honey?
may have been a deity even without the time ring, but Goku's body is mortal with a limited range of age. Might have really screwed yourself with that one, huh, Zam Zam?
Goku
Appreciate
Black
you,
was a
Lamia.
nightmarish foe, but Thawne's experience
Am I
with
still
time
scared of the
travel,
ocean?
ridiculous levels of hacks, and frankly impossible speed gave him the means to take the win.
This fight was definitely not sunderwhelming.
The winner is the Reverse Flash.
Yeah, that was wild. What's up,
Hope you guys
JD?
enjoyed that episode of Death Battle. If you're looking for something else to watch, Season 2 of Laugh.
Bro, that was a good one. That was a really, really good one.
Fight! Son Goku.
Superman.
It's time to answer the ultimate question, and we're taking it all into play.
We're examining Superman's extensive
All right, you guys, make sure to
mainline
come
comic
follow
book
me up
canon.
onto my
Given Dragon Ball
YouTube.
Super's
The
contingent
link
continuities
is
will
in the
include all
bio.
three, just to be
You know what I'm
thorough,
saying?
plus Dragon Ball
But yeah,
Heroes.
that's what I'm
He's
streaming
with
at.
my
Make sure to let
boomstick.
me know.
And it's our job to analyze their weapons, armor, and skills to find out who would win a death battle. Far away, in an enchanted land, an old master found a boy and marveled at his uncommon strength. This is the story of Son Goku.
Chances are, if you've watched some localized anime, you can thank this guy.
Inspired by martial arts films and his wife's interest in Chinese culture, Akira Toriyama crafted the story and the character that would define generations to come.
Dragon Ball! Kakarot was born a low-class Saiyan on the planet Vegeta, narrowly escaped its destruction by Frieza, and was raised on Earth by happy old Grandpa Gohan.
Not just raised, but trained. Gohan began Goku's teachings in martial arts, which he would find to be his true calling under the guidance of Master Roshi. Specifically, he learned the Kame-sen and Ryu style, which focuses on discipline and tenacity, both of which strongly define Goku's character.
The more he learned, the more he wanted to improve. This little low-class monkey boy would prove that hard work and dedication can beat raw talent. Within just a few years, he was so strong, the only worthy teachers left were gods. And a talking cat, but mostly gods. When you're training to dodge lightning, you know you're a few leagues over everyone else.
He did have a slight advantage.
Hey, what's up,
Saiyans
Kodaz?
are natural.
So y'all think Goku gonna win? I think, damn, Superman versus Goku. Death battle. Who gonna win? Who do you think is gonna win, guys?
Truly superhuman. They also take Nietzsche's famous words, "What doesn't kill you makes you
Hey,
stronger."
what's up, WTD?
very,
Nice.
Very literally.
It's almost unfair how much of a boost in power they get after they're hurt.
While Saiyans like Vegeta may have abused this trait, it suits Goku. No matter how many times you knock him down, he will get back up, stronger than before.
It helps that he knows so many cool combat moves, like the Kamehameha.
An incredibly powerful technique that focuses one's ki into a single point for a devastating beam.
So challenging, it took Roshi decades to master, but Goku got it in like 5 seconds.
It's incredibly versatile, with over 50 different variations. For example, Goku can curve the beam after firing, or even shoot it from his feet.
But unlike most Saiyans, he doesn't just use ki to blow shit up. Moves like the Solar Flare, Energy Landmine, and God Bind require a lot more strategy and planning.
Because while Goku isn't exactly book smart, he is a genius when it comes to martial arts. He doesn't just train to conquer his opponents, but to conquer himself.
He's also got some different moves, like
Oh, I bet.
trapping you in a rice cooker.
Well, pretty much any container could be used for the Mothama sealing technique.
Then
Hey,
there's
love you back, Mo.
Kaioken, aka instant steroids. Goku's multiplied his power by 20 with it before, and in a
there's AI,
movie, he
JoJo.
even got it up to times 100. What a badass!
The Genki Dama, or Spirit Bomb, is potentially his strongest attack, but it requires considerable time. Unlike instant transmission, which is a teleport that's
also
instant. The way it
Shadow Gamer.
works is Goku detects another person, like a sort of beacon, then teleports to their location by launching himself through an alternate dimension where time stands still. Yes, according to the Daisenshuu guidebook, it's a dimension hop. You can actually see this in between space in some movies and games.
And the dubs wanted us to think it shot Goku's molecules around at light speed. Silly English.
The dubs did more than that. In fact, early dubs of Dragon Ball Z tried to rewrite Goku as a Superman figure. Even his famous speech on Namek about being the light in the darkness was originally about him coming to terms with his Saiyan heritage, accepting his anger and pride, avenging his people by defeating Frieza, and declaring himself the Super Saiyan.
Hell yeah! If there's any scene that deserves the word epic, it's when he went gold. Super Saiyan and its sequels all have official power multipliers, but they threw us for a loop by turning Goku into a god.
Super Saiyan God certainly changed things up. Goku gained Divine Ki, a pure form of Ki unspoiled by mortal hands. Unlike normal Ki, it can't be detected and appears to have healing properties.
Kinda like Senzu beans. Did you know one senzu has so much healing juice it can regenerate a person's lost limbs? They're missing out.
God Goku reached a level of power that could compete with the greatest of deities, nearly shattering the whole universe with a single clash on his first go. Dragon Ball's cosmology is unique. This model is said to be an accurate depiction of Universe 7, but there's a wrinkle there. When all of humanity went to heaven,
because Boo went boozerk,
Fidel commented that heaven is just
I'll be right
as
back,
large
y'all.
as a universe,
About to go get something
and
to
the Daizenshuu backs her up.
And, that's heaven. Big planet.
So let's scale things up with that in mind. Doing so would make Universe 7 over 1,500 times larger than our own observable universe.
And Goku could destroy that much the first time he went God. And he didn't lose that power. He learned how to use it even better, even in base form. Now, imagine how much stronger he became when he stacked Super Saiyan on Super Saiyan God and became Super Saiyan Blue.
Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan.
Yeah, not saying that. Or after he trained with some almighty angels. Or when he perfected the blue hairdo and stacked Kaioken on top of that.
Goku has certainly performed great feats with God Ki, breaking through Hit's time stop
back.
by forcing himself into the future, holding off Infinite Zamasu, who was a sentient timeline, defeating Jiren, who shook the entire world of Void by just walking.
He even tried out Hakai, the destruction god move that nopes you out of existence. Your being and your soul erased from all of time and space.
Culminating in his greatest form, Ultra Instinct.
Chrome Goku isn't a normal transformation, it's a state of mind. Ultra Instinct is the highest peak of martial arts, subconsciously making optimal choices because you're in the zone. Doing without thinking.
Something Goku has always been trained to do. Technically, it can be used in any form, but when perfected, Autonomous Ultra Instinct makes you untouchable. No matter what comes his way, Goku will automatically dodge, block, and counter to the best of his ability, even pushing his body well beyond his physical limits. So far beyond, in fact, Ultra Instinct can summon a massive avatar to defend him when his own body can't.
That sounds really intense.
It is, which is why he's developed incremental versions of it for specific uses. It's extremely difficult to maintain the full form for long.
Until you get to Dragon Ball Heroes, aka Dragon Ball fanfiction gone Kaioken times 1,000.
While technically a different continuity, CC Goku is functionally a stand-in for the mainline Goku. His history and powers are the same, making his story just as much of a what-if scenario as the multiple super continuities. The only real difference is Toriyama's not really involved.
This Goku used instant transmission to teleport through time and dimensions. He outsped a god who could see the future. He defeated Dark King Fu, who was gonna rewrite the entire universe. Hell, this series even makes GT cool. Xeno Goku can break space-time just by going Super Saiyan 4.
Looking back at that goofy monkey boy chopping wood and punching dinosaurs, it's almost overwhelming to think about how far Goku has come, how much he's had to face.
But no matter the challenge, he takes it head-on and pushes through.
Showing everyone, everywhere, how to go even further beyond. Faster than a speeding bullet, more powerful than a locomotive. It's a bird, it's a plane, it's Superman.
Geez, just a locomotive? People in the 40s needed bigger imaginations.
Born on the far-off world of Krypton, the infant Kal-El was sent to Earth by his parents, narrowly escaping Krypton's destruction. Raised by farmers as Clark Kent, he eventually became Superman, champion of the oppressed, the man of tomorrow.
If you've only seen the movies, forget him. Comic book Clark's not the perfect Boy Scout, and he's definitely not Jesus. Wait, weren't the guys who made him Jewish?
Jerry Siegel and Joe Shuster were sons of Jewish immigrants and grew up in a time when anti-Semitism went largely unchallenged.
And then that ugly mustache showed up.
Understandably seeking escape from some truly terrifying horrors, the pair created Superman to be a simple solution to overwhelming problems.
A hero who could defeat any evil by just punching it. Hell yeah, that's how I live my life.
After almost 9 decades, Superman has been many things. At the core, his story is one of a refugee, a child who lost his home, left to the mercy of alien people. This new world accepted him, raised him, gave him a new home, because helping others in need is the right thing to do. That's why he became a superhero, the first superhero.
Everything's gotta start somewhere, but he was the first one to really take off. I mean, not literally, Took a while, actually, before he learned how to fly.
In fact, when Clark discovered his Kryptonian heritage, he struggled to accept it and subconsciously developed mental blocks, severing him from his true power, which he would uncover throughout his life.
He's strong enough to shoulder press the weight of the Earth for 5 days straight, or crush coal into perfectly cut diamond.
That's not how that works.
He's fast enough to reach the edge of the universe in seconds, or even break the bonds of infinity. Wait, he can do all that, but Batman can punch him out? Really?
You're probably thinking of Elseworld stories outside main canon like Dark Knight Returns. It's a good question though. Superman's powers have fluctuated over time for a variety of reasons. However, for Death Battle, we take the characters at their best.
Yeah, like how his breath is so powerful he can sneeze away a solar system, or blow air cold enough to freeze ghosts!
Speaking of, his X-ray vision doesn't just see through walls, he can see through your own body and mind to examine your soul.
And yet, he can't see through lead. That's okay though, he can just burn through it with his face. Since he gets his power from the yellow sun, his heat vision burns with the fire of a star. And if beams aren't enough, he can blast it out of his whole body for a super flare. It used to totally drain him, but he's learned how to control it.
Simply put, Superman's powers defy physics. My favorite examples of this are when he rebuilt the reality warping miracle machine from memory, or punched Brainiac so hard every version of him felt it through all of time, or when he gained 10 years worth of medical training through only 5 minutes of reading and then successfully performed lung surgery.
Nice. My favorite example is when he smelled brownies in North Dakota from orbit.
Even beyond his powers, Superman is no novice when it comes to the intricacies of battle.
He's trained in Kryptonian martial arts, which uses chi, or as they call it, Shriar. He even got summoned to Asgard to fight demons with Thor for 1,000 years.
Superman can resist being erased from existence, such as tanking Darkseid's Omega Beams. Even Retcon and the Time Trapper, both of which hijack and alter timelines, can't touch him. Not because of his powerful mental defenses or healing factor, but because he's a cosmic linchpin in the greater metaverse.
Timelines literally revolve around him.
But let's address the S-shaped elephant in the room. You may have noticed we've covered a variety of Superman eras. Superman, and DC Comics as a whole, have gone through multiple
Ice
retcons.
cream.
Golden Age, Silver Age, Pre-Crisis, Post-Crisis,
beer.
New 52, Rebirth,
With
and
these
so
powers
on.
You would have
combined,
to know which one is the main Superman, right?
delicious root beer
they all
float.
are.
Yeah, the latest reboots basically
Goku's
said
your favorite
everything in the
character?
main series
Also
is
Doomslayer.
kinda canon,
Understandable.
even when he had wacky powers like changing his appearance with a super muscular control. Ew. I guess he can still phase through almost anything, even people.
Look, if you really dig into it, this isn't new. Plenty of characters have recalled events from supposedly retcon timelines before.
Yeah, post-crisis Supes did start as less powerful than in pre-crisis, but that was because of the mental blocks.
Though he's not a complete composite, there's so many other Supermen out there.
Future Superman, Big Robot Superman, Commie Superman, Dinosaur Superman. There's a bunch.
Still, this new canon has affected his abilities. For example, he and other Kryptonians can effortlessly travel through time. And while Superman's powers stem from the Earth's yellow sun, exposure to a blue star increases them even further. In fact, upon visiting a white star, he attained a whole new level of power.
When that old baldy Lex teleported him to another galaxy, Superman just popped back up, saying space-time has lost its meaning for him. He really just said that.
Remember, Superman defies physics.
Like when he used heat vision to restart the universe by making an all-new Big Bang.
We've seen that his universe has a radius of at least 100 trillion light years, but we
good.
can calculate a more exact figure. The DC universe is 15 billion years old and expands at 60 trillion light years per half second. This means its radius must be over 50 nonillion light years across.
What? That's 31 zeros, and Supes helped make that happen.
Well, about 1/5 of it. That's still immense power, but if you want something bigger, here's the Anti-Monitor blasting Golden Age Superman with all the energy of the antimatter universe. And then Superman,
punched him so hard it kickstarted another one of those reboots.
Now, Superman does have weaknesses. There's kryptonite, of course, and exposure to red starlight can fade his powers over time.
Not all at once. He has been able to move planets around while under a red star, so...
And everyone knows Superman can't deal with magic, but it's more accurate to say he doesn't have any special resistances to it. He's defeated plenty of magic users before, even Shazam.
Superman challenges the idea that
what's
absolute
up, Cody?
power corrupts absolutely. He's the goodest good guy of them all, but there is nuance to being good, even if he is the ultimate power fantasy, unstoppable and incorruptible.
Such as when he took on the World Forger, one of the most powerful reality shapers in all of creation.
Who was in the 6th dimension, crafting a whole new multiverse to replace the one Clark calls home. Who's gonna stop him?
Superman could, and the Forger knew it. So he was trapped on a world with a sun so distant he could never escape. Or so the Forger thought.
Instead, Clark found the strength he needed to fly at that sun, dip through a ton of stars, KO the World Forger, and shatter his new multiverse with a single punch. Because that's Superman, a simple solution to overwhelming problems.
He's the kind of person to save a cat from a tree, answer Christmas cards from strangers, and tow hundreds of planets to a new galaxy all in the same day. What's not to like?
Truth and justice has no better champion than the Man of Steel.
All right, the combatants are set. We've run the data through all possibilities.
It's time for a death battle!
Let's do this.
Today's the day. We'll finally settle who's stronger.
If you say so.
Ah, damn. Yep, there it is. Sweep the leg. Sweep the leg, Scotty. Sweep the leg. Wow.
Give it your all.
Wow, Superman. Not preventing, not out here,
I'm doing
not
just
preventing
fine.
forest fires anymore, I see. Water? One-inch punch. Damn. Damn.
Oops. Well, I guess we can wish it back later.
World made of cardboard. All right, I'll show you just how powerful I really am.
Damn, nigga. Damn.
This looks like a job for...
Damn. What's up, Dragon Zeno Sonic?
Well, what do you think?
That was awesome! Nice suit!
Oh, thanks. Kryptonian fabric. My mom made it for me.
Damn. I ain't never seen this one before. Oh, shit. Hold up. Oh, fire. Damn. Damn, bro. Oh, damn. What the hell was that? All right, you guys, once we reach 7 more super chats, type of 1 in the chat if you guys want me to play a scary game. Type of 2 in the chat if you guys want me to play an action adventure game. I mean, AKA Batman Arkham Knight. Yeah, I mean, not even Arkham Asylum. Yeah, I'm saying so scary game or Batman Arkham Asylum. And if you guys pick one, we'll choose between the scary games. Also, if you guys want to do a super chat request is 50 directly to the channel and or through the tip jar. Yeah, I'm saying it goes directly to the production of our next BHD story time. To which case, I'm going to try to make it as dirty as possible. I'm going to try to make, oh boy, we going to figure it out. It's going to be Arkham Goku Ultra Instinct.
Finally.
That nigga broke everything.
Huh? Ah, darn it.
Almost had me there. That was actually pretty fun.
Yeah, it sure was. But I'll be stronger next time.
I look forward to it.
Let's go again.
You're on.
That's really cool.
KO! That's it! The final, indisputable answer! Who am I kidding? People are gonna argue this one forever.
There are so many ways this battle could go, especially with all the other continuities.
Yeah, for real. Goku would kick almost every other Superman's ass, except for the main one.
There's a lot to cover, so let's address the 5 categories most representative of this fight.
First up, strength. Both could hit hard enough to break or make their whole universe, or take it in stride, like when Superman got smacked by the whole antimatter universe.
At most, Dragon Ball's universe is 1,505 times larger than our own. But based on the DC Universe's officially established age and rate of expansion, it is 1.6 vigintillion times larger, over a novemdecillion times more than Goku's.
At some point, you reach a number high enough that it just doesn't mean anything anymore. Anyway, Goku's obviously gotten stronger since the Beerus fight, even by billions or trillions of times. He's defeated Jiren,